Hello, it is Lisa Furlan with lisafurlan.com, and I'm wearing a bright, sunny yellow shirt because it is beautiful outside. We are having tremendous weather yet again in Sweden. It's another gorgeous day, and I'm just feeling happy and with it and like energized, ready to go. So I think that crowdfunding for indie authors is a great way to create a sustainable funding plan. It costs money to self-publish a book, as does anything. Anytime you create something, it requires resources, material, services, advertising, all that stuff. So it does cost money to self-publish your work, especially if you are a children's illustrated book author. It costs you even more because generally you are paying for illustrations or cover design or layout or something that's a little more expensive than an all-text book, although all textbooks cost money to publish as well. And generally, the full color books require a printing run. So they're not necessarily print on demand, but they require a full printing run, which is a lot of money up front. So a lot of children's book authors are asking themselves, well, should I just kickstart my project and get my funding that way? And it's not right for everyone. I do think that crowdfunding is a sustainable way for people to do it if they are willing to do certain things. So as an indie author, you have to be willing to do certain things in order to be successful at crowdfunding. You can't just put up your project and hope that someone funds it. So I've actually written down a few personality traits or characteristics, and I think it might be challenging for the introverts. I am an introvert as well, believe it or not, but I work by myself. I'm an introvert. This is like the most interaction I have during the day. But anyway, I learned that you won't get anywhere if you're not willing to put yourself out there. So the first question I ask all of my crowdfunding clients is, are you willing to put yourself out there? And I mean like really out there. Like you're going to be emailing and calling strangers and pitching people your project, telling them what you're doing, what you're about. You're going to be plastering this all over your personal Facebook page to your friends. You're going to be reaching out to your friends and your family and explaining what you do. And this is like the first step. The first step is you hit your inner circle and then you reach out to your outer circle and your each concentric ring of strangers. And by the end of your project, you will just be like shooting for the moon. You'll be reaching out to New York Times bestselling authors. You'll be reaching out to huge crowdfunding creators. You're going to be doing so many things that you never thought you would do. And so I have to ask, are you willing to do that? You might find yourself in over your head and having to do things you normally would never do, like appear on your local news television station or hop on your local NPR radio or just anything. And you have to be willing to put yourself out there. If that is like, you're like, no, I'm not going to do that, then you need to just save your money and fund it yourself. All right. Do you know what your audience really wants? A lot of indie authors, this is like their debut shot. Like they don't have an audience prepared. They don't have any emails lined up. They don't really have a sense for what their audience wants. And they set their goal really high to fund the whole project and it just fails because they haven't tapped into what their audience really wants. And because crowdfunding, it's not a store, it's not a place where readers go to find new books, unless you're me, it is something that creators have to offer the book plus something else. And the plus something else is exactly what your audience should want to have in their lives and be like, yeah, of course, I totally want that. I want the book plus the something else. And that's how you get people to level up. What that something else is totally up to what your audience wants. And if your audience is like you, then just create what you think you would want if you were in their shoes. So you have to know that. Are you willing to do like Facebook Lives like this and just speak off the cuff and pitch your project and explain what you're doing and show the behind the scenes work and do all that stuff? Because that is what crowdfunding creators have to do. You have to take people into the process, show them how your book is being illustrated, show you working on the book, show you interviewing other authors or things and doing all those fun things. You know, when actors are on the TV circuit and they're promoting their books, very rarely or their books, I'm stuck in books. When actors are promoting their movies, they actually do something else. So they do like would you eat this challenge or whatever. So it's an interesting thing. And then they're like, oh yeah, you're in that movie. Yeah, remember. And so I think a lot of crowdfunding is doing those other things that are tangentially related to your project. And then reminding people that, yes, you have this project going on and help us create this book by backing us on Kickstarter. But you get people's interest by doing something really kind of wacky or fun or silly or crazy or whatever. Get people's attention and then send them to your campaign. Are you willing to invest some money up front? We all know the adage, it takes money to make money. And I'm not just saying this. I'm saying this because this is real. Like, you have to have a budget for advertising. You have to have a budget for creating a mock-up or a layout. Like, I had this book printed. It wasn't finished, but I had I had the cover designed, and then I printed just text in a book because I needed something to take pictures of. And so I did a lot of that work up front. And so yes, you have to pay for that up front. You will get paid back the money, but you have to invest in these things before you can even start your crowdfunding page. You have to have either a digital mock-up or a physical mock-up. Show people what it's going to look like. If you have a children's illustrated book, you are going to have to commission a few layouts of the book. The illustrations, they have to be laid out and show people what it's going to look like. They have to have some sort of idea before they're willing to give you their money. All right. You're also going to have to like create swag or t-shirts or bookmarks or whatever. So you have to be willing to invest something up front before you can do anything. All right. And then the last thing is, are you willing to invest a significant amount of your time, effort, and energy for the next 60 to 120 days, maybe 90 to 100. It's really 3 to 4 months of work, because you have to create your mock-up, create your prototype, create your sales page, your campaign video, do all those things. That takes a lot of time, effort, and energy, and you have to be willing to invest that. And really, crowdfunding comes from the creator. I absolutely refuse to crowdfund for anybody else, because I am a firm believer that it is your responsibility as the creator to put your face forward. People want to connect with you. They want to know who you as an author truly is and what your message is. They don't want to hear from some consultant you hired. So all of the work that I do is completely behind the scenes and setting you up for success, but it has to be all you. I can't do that for you. All right, so I don't know if you've heard, but I have a new course called Crowdfund Your Book Like a Boss. And in it, I go over absolutely everything for what crowdfunding is, what the different platforms are, how to be successful on each platform, how to design a winning strategy. And I come up with some really creative ideas for you to use and to start like those juices flowing so that you can create a crowdfunding campaign that successfully funds your book. Like, how cool would it be if you had a book and you were like, every book I sell is money in my pocket. Just money straight in my pocket. Every book I sell after my crowdfunding campaign goes straight to me because I've already funded the book. I'm no longer paying back my illustrator. I'm not paying back myself and all the debt that I went into to create the book. It all goes right in your pocket. And that's what I love. So if you're interested in that, click on the link. It'll take you to more information, or you can always leave a comment below and I will answer it. All right. Bye, everyone.